Hey everyone, welcome back. We are going to be discussing the Risen Star today, and I have with me El Hombre. How are you doing today, man?
Good, man. Thanks for having me on, dude. It's the first time I've been on the old prep talk with Vinny, so let's see how we
Yeah,
do. I know we've had some ups and downs on these prep talks, but they've been some tough fields, and this one is too. So
yeah, this
interested
is
to
it.
hear your thoughts on this one, man.
Yeah, and at least this field I'm pretty excited about. Some of the other fields have been kind of lackluster, but this one seems to be a pretty strong group. We got a
Oh yeah.
we got a field of 10, and it's a pretty strong field of 10. Definitely led by the number 8, Smile Happy, but we will get to him in a bit. What do you think about Papa Cap coming out of the Lecomte?
I know he got third in the LeComp behind Call Me Midnight and Epicenter. Did not. I thought he was disappointing. They did upgrade to Tyler Gaffleone jockey this here. I think he's got a shot. Um, I think he hits the board. I don't see him winning, but I think he's got an outside shot to win. He's definitely not a toss. I mean, I'm open minded. I think he looked better before the LeComp than he did at the LeComp. How about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I like the upgrade to Tyler. First time without Joe Bravo since his maiden breaking score. He was kind of disappointing. I know he only lost by 3/4 of a length, but coming around the turn, he looked like he was going to cut the corner and go, and he kind of cut the corner and just stalled.
Yep.
So that was disappointing. It was his first start off the layoff. I'm with you. I like him to hit the board, definitely for exotics. I think he really fits, but I don't know if he's going to improve enough to beat this field. In my
Yeah.
opinion, he's kind of just one of those. You know what you're going to get with him. I feel like at this point, and if it's good enough to win, so be it. It's probably going to be good enough for third or fourth.
Yeah. I wouldn't leave him off underneath and in exotics, but yeah, I'm not going to put any win bets on him.
Uh, me either. In the number 2 is the only horse in here not nominated for the Triple Crown so far. Russian Tank, quite the name. um,
Indeed.
I, I'm not a fan of this one at all. He's got
Well,
early speed, but I don't see it.
all right. So they got him listed at 50 to 1 morning line, and I got to tell you, dude, I'm gonna go a step further with my take on Russian Tank. If he wins this race, I will drive up to New York, jump off the Brooklyn Bridge to my death, icy waters, freeze to death live on YouTube. I'll broadcast it live. Everybody can watch and laugh at me.
Oh man, yeah,
And
I
yeah, I'll jump off the Brooklyn Bridge to my icy death and on live YouTube. That'll be good footage for everybody to watch. But that's the shot he has. It's none.
yeah, I got you got a positive with he sold for 4 times the stud fee, but he only sold for 20,000. Broke his maiden on the turf. His last 2 races were supposed to be on turf and got taken off. This seems like a hope, like just a shot in the dark here. I'm not a huge fan. The 50
I
to
don't know
1.
how
I
he's
don't
won
I
this.
don't have morning lines up, but 50 to 1 definitely seems right on Russian Tank.
Yeah, dude. I think I feel like when I was looking at his past performances, I felt like it was kind of a maybe the connections want to be involved in a big race, and that it's exciting, which it is. I'm sure it'd be cool to be a part of a race like this, but maybe that's it because
Yeah,
the horse has no business in it otherwise.
agreed. So
Insta toss.
yep, I agree with that. I am tossing. What do you think of the number 3, Trafalgar, another runner coming out of the Lecomte here?
Insta toss. 10 to 1 morning line. Not enough. I think they've got him in terms of morning line, kind of a mid pack, which I agree with that. But I'm tossing him. I don't think he's going to hit the board. I don't think he's got a shot to win. He showed some life in the Lecomte, finished fourth, but he didn't look interested in winning that race, and I don't think he's going to look interested in winning a race with twice the competition either.
Yeah, I do like that he gets blinkers, but I think this one wants to run shorter. I think this is my comment on the prep talk on the Lecomte. He's sired by Lord Nelson. I think he wants to go. I think he's going to be a one-turn horse. His lone win is at a mile at Churchill. Well, he did win at Fairgrounds at this distance, but it wasn't against much. But that was his best race, was the one turn at Churchill. I think this is kind of the last. I think this is the last we see him on the Derby Trail. I'm gonna guess if he loses this, I think he's gonna be pointed towards like the Pat Day Mile, personally, because I do think there's talent here.
Yeah,
I think
he didn't finish. I mean, he did, like I said, he showed life in that race. It wasn't like he was out to lunch. He was in the race, but
he was the best of the rest out of that
true
9-horse field. So he wasn't near Epicenter, Papa Cap, or Call Me Midnight, but he was definitely better than what was left out of that race. So
exactly. Yep.
And I guess if you're playing like tries, maybe throw him underneath. Maybe. Yeah, I think he'll be a price, but he did finish fourth, so he hit the super last time. I wouldn't completely rule it out, but I think there's others in here that are more interesting.
Absolutely agree.
I'll let you go on the number 4, Tawny Port. Before I go.
Yeah, 12-1. It's an expensive yearling. There's a lot of money invested in the horse. Bred to go 2 turns. It's the first. Cox has 2 horses in here. Cox has a less than showcase barn that he had last year, but I like this horse to potentially hit the board. I think that he is going to surprise some people. Outside shot for an upset. I definitely like him in underneath bets and exotics because he's going to get a price. I think the more 12-1 morning probably will go off closer to like 15 or 20-1. I think I'm including him in exotics.
Yeah, I was letting you go on him because I'm actually a pretty big fan of this horse. I'm in a fantasy league and I actually have this horse on my team. I was expecting him to completely stay at Turfway and just take those small little Derby preps up there.
Didn't want him to face this competition this early.
Yeah, well, I feel like it's a good sign that Cox sends him here. He's getting Cox's top rider in Flow. First time trying dirt. He's got the pedigree for dirt. He's, like you said, he was an expensive yearling purchase. The last race was not very impressive, even though he got the win. He kind of did everything he could to lose, and he still won. So a little hesitant about that, but like you said, the price should be right on this one to use 12-1 morning line. I bet we get around that unless he becomes the they new horse in this race, but I don't think he will. I think we'll get every bit of that 12-1, probably like you said, closer to 15-1. I'm using him. Yeah. I think there's definitely something here, and the fact that Cox ships him from Turfway, I think, is a very positive sign.
Yeah, and just to take a step back, the 3-horse Trafalgar, however you say that name, that's a toss for me. I think you touched on that you may use him underneath. I have to toss him because I've got a couple of these longer horses that I think will get more of a price that I like underneath more, including the 4.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. The number 5 Epicenter. I think this is going to be your second choice in this race. I'm tossing him. I'm tossing him.
Dude, we're kind of in lockstep so far. Somewhat. A toss is further than I was going to go.
Yeah, I'm going to toss him here. He ran great in the Lecomte. He looked great in the Gun Runner. I just don't think I think we might have seen the distance limit on him. He had no excuse not to put that field away in the Lecomte, and I have a very hard time playing horses back who have no excuse. He set the pace. He wasn't really pressured. He turned for home. It didn't seem like anybody was gonna catch him. And then Call Me Midnight, who I'm not a huge fan of, catches him at the wire. And it kind of goes back to the same thing about Papa Cap, where I kind of know what I'm going to get out of him, and I don't think that race is good enough to win here. So,
and that's exactly my comment. Exactly was going to be much like we said about Papa Cap. If he wasn't interested in winning that race, he's not going to win this one because there is 3 or 4 horses that are better than anybody was in that field.
Yeah,
In
and
my
like
opinion.
he could improve. I mean, like a lot of people, the comment I keep seeing a lot of people say about him is that he doesn't need the lead, and he went to the lead, and it's like, yeah, I get that, but if he was as good as advertised, he puts that field away. Call me Midnight. Probably not going to win another stakes race this year. Let alone, I don't even know if he'll win another race this year. He got the
Yeah,
perfect setup. He got a dream trip and a perfect setup last time. I like I he should not have beaten Epicenter if Epicenter was as good as advertised. At a
yeah, I've never
short
been
price,
blown away by him either.
yeah, at a short price, I'll toss him. If if for some reason he drifts up, around that like 4 or 5 to 1 range, I might use him underneath in exotics, just because I would hate to get burned by him if he is gonna be a price. But if he's like 2 or 3 to 1, like I think he's gonna be, absolutely not. I'm I will I'll let this horse beat me.
Same. I'm gonna play a bunch of different combinations because this is a deep race and it could go a lot of ways. And there's gonna be some prices because there's a lot of balance in the talent. I will play him in tries, and I'll probably leave him off exotics if I'm trying to make an affordable pick 5 or pick 4 ticket. I just don't see him winning here.
Oh.
Trifecta, yeah, I'll put him underneath.
And and another reason I'm not a huge fan of him is actually the horse to his outside, Pioneer of Medina for Pletcher. And here's another horse that I think is gonna I think this horse needs the lead. He looked really good winning last time out. I don't think he beat much though last time out. But here's another horse who needs the lead, and he's gonna like he's gonna press the early pace. He might end up being the pace setter. I don't know if he is quick enough to be the pace setter, but he's gonna
He's
try.
close.
Yeah, I think he's gonna. Time form's got him at 105. He's the third fastest early time form in here, so I think he's definitely gonna try to go to the early lead. If he doesn't get it, I don't know what's there. He's a toss
He's
for
dead if he
me.
does. He's dead if
Yeah,
he doesn't get there.
he's a toss. He's a toss for me. I do really like the pedigree on him. I like that Pletcher's sending him in. I like that Saez is coming in to ride him. He's just not for me. If he beats me, he beats me.
He's a horse that I believe the morning line's either 10 or 12 to 1. So he's another mid pack choice. He's had good speed figures. He's been consistent. He hasn't raced anybody. I have a soft spot in my heart for Pioneer of the Nile, the sire, because I've won a lot of money on that horse. That horse was like my lucky charm for a while there. So, yeah, I like him. I don't think he's going to win. I wouldn't be shocked if he was up there second and third in the mix if he does get out of the gate. If he gets out of the gate, he could be dangerous.
Yeah,
That could
yeah.
be said. That could be said for half of this field, though.
Right, right. One that I do like that I can't believe I'm going to say that I like is the Chad Brown runner, the number 7 Zanden, coming out of the Remsen. And I really, going into this, I was kind of on the fence about. I'm not a huge fan of Chad Brown running colts on the dirt. They
Yep.
just normally don't. I usually let them beat me. They don't. If they win, they're short prices. But I like the fight that this one showed last time. He probably should have been declared the winner. That was a questionable non-DQ in the Remsen. But he
Against Mo
ran good.
Donegal, who's another top
Yeah,
notch.
yeah. Mo Donegal ran ran a good third in the Holy Bull.
Yep.
He's a horse who just gets in his own way. But I like the fight that Zanden showed in his second start. He is getting his third jockey in 3 starts, so not the best, but he does get Jose, so it's not like it's not like it's a huge downgraded jockey. I just like that he has tactical speed, and he seems to be able to, he seems to keep going. So
Yep.
I don't know if he's gonna win, but I think he's a horse that might get first crack at the leaders, and midway down the stretch might have the lead while the others are still still coming from the back. So I do like that about him, and I'm expecting him to be a decent price. In my head, I was expecting him to be about 8 to 1. I don't know what the morning line
I
has
think he's
on him.
9 to 2.
Okay, so he's a little
But I
lower
do
than I
think he'll
thought.
he'll creep up. He'll creep up there because
Yeah.
there's it's just so spread. I mean,
It
there's a
is.
lot of Smile Happy fans. Obviously, Papa Cap and Epicenter have worshipers all over the place.
Yeah, I like
Fortnite
the
Andy has worshipers.
as a new shooter, I think Zanden's the one of the ones that I think really has a good shot here. Chad usually does not ship his 3-year-old Colts. He shipped Good Magic back when Good Magic was running, but I have a hard time really thinking of another one that he really ships. I could be wrong on that, but he usually keeps his horses, New York and Florida. So the fact that he's shipping here, I think means that this horse is better than the competition at those tracks, and Chad's just trying to see exactly how good this one is.
To me, the biggest strong point, and I'm putting, I think you can't leave him out of anything. You have to play him and everything. I don't think he'll win either. Like Zach, your comment exactly. I don't think he'll win. Wouldn't be shocked if he did, but I do think he's going to be very much in play to hit the board. Like you said, Chad bragged him up, said he couldn't be doing any better than he possibly has as far as training. And my whole thing, the upside for him is he hasn't ran a good race yet at all. If you look at his he's stumbled out of the gate or he's had traffic problems in every race. He has not had a good race yet. I think if that all
Yeah.
comes together at once, he could win. I don't think he's going to win, but I do think he's going to be a factor.
Yeah, and he does have the Remsen was 8 horses, and like you said, he had a little traffic trouble. So at least we know we can run with traffic, which isn't the same for some of these horses. The number 8 is likely going to. I think this horse is going to be the heavy favorite in here. He seems to have he's the current Kentucky Derby futures favorite, Smile Happy, which I get how strong the Kentucky Jockey Club is coming back with the Holy Bull winner in White Abario, and then what race was last weekend? That Classic Causeway won. Oh, that Sam F. Davis, that Classic Causeway won easily. I get that. I still think it's crazy that this horse is the current Derby favorite because the Baffert horses aren't listed. But here we are. We have Kenny McPeak has the favorite. I would be shocked if this horse doesn't go off at like 7-5.
He's 7-2 morning line, which is
Yeah, I think he's gonna get bet down.
which is very generous. Yeah, he's not going off at 7.
Yeah, if he stays 7-2, there is something wrong, in my
He
opinion.
won't. Yeah, he'll be 8-5.
And it's hard to trust Kenny McPeak. This horse has done nothing wrong. Clearly he's beaten some good horses.
So I was right. Zanden's 9-2 to recap it. Papa Cap's 4-1. Epicenter's 4-1. Zanden's 9-2. Smile Happy 7-2.
Okay.
I've got him in front of me now. So that everybody else is at least 10-1. Trafalgar's 10-1. Tawny Port's 12. Russian Tank 50-1. So Pioneer of Medina also 10-1.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what much more can be said about Smile Happy that people haven't already heard.
No, dude, he looked like a world beater his last time out. Obviously, everybody knows it. McPeak brought him here to get 50 points, expects him to, which locks him into the field. It looks tough to beat, man. I mean, I wouldn't bet against him, but I'm not betting him at 8-5 in this crowd. Just because if I think he will go off 8-5. I mean, maybe even tighter than that on odds. I don't.
Yeah,
I think people are going to go crazy on him because he is he's the Vegas favorite right now, which a lot of people react to.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's gonna get bet down, but yeah, he's done nothing wrong. And like as much as I'm not a fan of Run Happy as the sire, even though I loved Run Happy. Not a two-turn horse, but this horse just seems to be the exception right now. And yeah, I don't know if I can leave him off of tickets. He just looks too good. His running style seems to be he's kind of like Zanden, where he's got that tactical speed and doesn't need the lead. I like that McPeak didn't run him at Gulfstream and waited to run him at Fairgrounds because I think Fairgrounds is a little does actually play a little more fair than Gulfstream, which tends to play more towards the front. So he's got all positives for me. I just don't know if at the short price I'm willing to play him as my top pick.
Yeah, same. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't bet on him, but I wouldn't bet against him either to win, unless he does somehow go off at 7-2 or something like that, which ain't gonna happen. So,
Right.
how about where we at on the 9 Bodak, the second Cox entry? What's your thoughts? He is 10-1 morning line, which surprised me a little bit.
Yeah,
I thought it should be 10,000-1. Go ahead.
Calumet Farms homebred. I do like that. Stretching out for the first time, tough spot to stretch out the 2 turns with, but pedigree says he should be able to stretch out the 2 turns. Street Boss out of an AP&D dam. The speed figure last time out was solid. He beat a horse in Strava that I know originally was being pointed at the Derby Trail. I don't know if he still is. So that field he beat might have not been bad. He does lose Lasix here today, and he's carrying more weight than he's ever carried. I think he's a toss for me too. I'm expecting this to be the horse that is going to mess up the pace, though. I think this horse has more natural speed than he's shown in his sprints, and I would not be surprised if he is a part of the early pace.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, he's coming off. When was his last race? He had
January 15th in the slop here at Fairgrounds.
But before that, there was a long layoff, wasn't there?
Yeah, no, November. His last race before that was November 10th at Indiana Grand.
Yeah, stretching off for the first time. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think he's the biggest mystery on the board. I don't know. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
you gotta toss in a field like this where there's 5 or 6 horses that we know are good. I can't imagine betting or including horses that I don't know are good. So
yeah, and the fact that there's 2 Brad Cox horses and the one gets flow and the other doesn't. I understand Pedroia was on this one last time, or Pedroza was on this one last time. I get it, but still, Brad, if this was the better Cox horse, Flo would be on him. He's a toss for me as well.
All right.
And
I'm interested to hear Slow Down Andy now, because I think he's pretty people are either hot or cold on him. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm one of those people that is cold on him. Doug O'Neill has done this before where he shipped horses from out west and he's done very well in Derby preps. I get that. He did beat Messier, who, in my opinion, if Baffert could have horses in the Derby, would be the current Derby favorite over Smiled Happy.
Agreed.
But I hate that last race was at Los Al, because Los Al is just a weird track. And either horses love Los Al or they hate Los Al. In his race before that, he lost to a horse named Phineas at Del Mar. And Phineas is not good. So it kind of
was a 2-year-old darling for a little bit there.
He was, and the horse doesn't like to win. So the fact that he lost to Phineas, but he ran a great race at Los Al. I can't take that away from him. I'm just curious how much of that was that this horse really just liked Los Al and that Messier didn't. And that's kind of where I'm going to stand on him until he proves me wrong, is that he's just a horse that really liked Los Al. Because outside of those that one race at Los Al, his other 2 races aren't too impressive. Both California state bred races, the buyers don't match up with the top contenders in this race at all out of those. So I'm drawing a line through the Los Al futurity personally. It could be a mistake, but that's how I'm seeing this.
So you playing him underneath, or you full
toss? I'm full toss. I am full tossing him.
All right. So it took 10 horses to get here, but finally a hard disagree. I'm in. I'm putting him on. I'm putting the 8 and the 10 over the top of 4 other horses when it comes to trifecta key boxes, stuff like that. he beat Messier, who, like you said, Messier last weekend. He would be the Derby favorite, I think, if there wasn't the Baffert cloud over him. Slow down Andy, great tactical speed. Every time out, like you said, he hasn't been mind-blowingly great other than that race, which you're right about Losal. I don't know. He ran downhill in that race, and he's one of those horses that just has that gear. And maybe again, it's sometimes you see a race, and it's just that the competition was not as good as you maybe thought they were in that race. But damn, he looked explosive and big in that race. And and that was his last time out. And I'm going on that feeling. Could be wrong. Like you said, you could be wrong the other direction, but I do like him a lot more than I like some of these others. To me, as far as on top, I'm putting the 8 and the 10 on top.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a swing here. I'm gonna use the 4. I'm gonna use the 4 and the 8 on top, and I'm gonna key them with the 7 Zanden. I'm gonna try to. My entire strategy out of this is I'm gonna hope the Lecomte wasn't that good, and I'm going to go with the new shooters because visually I didn't think.
Well, clearly you don't think the Lecomte is good because Call Me Midnight is not even in the discussion for
I don't, and like I like and like it won't surprise me for trifectas and stuff like that if Papa Cap and Epicenter make it in, but I'm especially with them being a little lower in price, I'm gonna try to make a little money here. I'm not, and I know using Smile Happy is just going to come back to bite me. I know I'm just going to be the kiss of death on this horse, and he's just not going to move when he breaks out of the gate.
It's possible to leave him out, dude. I mean, really.
I just looking at the race, like unless you think McPeak is unless you just don't play this horse based on McPeak, I don't see how you don't play him. I mean the Kentucky Jockey Club, it just seems like every horse out of the Kentucky Jockey Club is coming back to win. So.
Yeah, so my final take on it is 8 and 10 over, and to hit the board, I like the 1, 4, 6, 7. Papa Cap can get the board. Tawny Port, Pioneer of Medina, if you're looking for prices, and Zanden. Zanden's going to hit the board. So if you're searching for prices, the 4 and the 6 are the prices that can get there for me. I don't like the other longer shots. The 2's a joke. 9, no. I don't like Epicenter. He's my toss out of the good horses. Trafalgar toss. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
should be a great race.
It should be a great race. This should be this as a competitive wise. I think this is going to be the most competitive Derby prep we've seen so far, which is good because it's the first 50-point prep.
Yeah, so we should 1,000% the best so far.
Yeah, so we're starting to get into knowing who's who. So I would not be shocked if the winner out of this race and a couple of the others we see again in the Louisiana Derby.
Yeah, 3 or 4
next time out. So
yep.
Yeah, that's my final thought is 4, 7, 8. I'm gonna use those 3 and just kind of hope they can come 1, 2 with 2 of the 3 of them.
Cool. I agree, man. It's gonna be a fun one. This will change the rest of the season for sure.
Agreed.
All right.
Best of luck, everyone, and we will see you next time.